Okay, guys, let's talk about the percentages today. Percentages, basically, we should be familiar with this sign over here. This is the percent sign. That means out of 100. Okay, if I write here 2%, so that actually means this is 2 out of 100. Okay, if there is 5%, so that actually means 5 out of 100. We'll be discussing this later, that why do we need to learn the percentages. First of all, I want you to be familiar with these signs over here. If there is 20%, so that means this is going to be 20 out of 100. Okay, if there is, let's say, 50%, so that means this is going to be 50 out of 100. So that is, this is the percent sign. Just to, for your, just this, for the sake of some information, you see, there is, like all of you have seen this sign a lot of times, like 20% discount, there is a sale going on, um, like everything that there is a, what do they say, that one term is called up to 50% uh, discount, and there is another uh, term used there. Yeah, flat 50% sale. Like these are the, so this symbol is used a lot. So this means this is going to be out of 100. Do you know there is also a symbol like this? Has anyone seen this symbol before? Hmm? Yes? Anyone?
No, sir.
Yeah. If this symbol means out of 100, do you know this symbol means out of 1,000? Okay, this means per thousand. And similarly, if there are three zeros, so that would be per 10,000. Okay, so like that. So anyhow, we have to be dealing with this percent sign over here. That means out of 100. Now, there are some percentages which are very typically used in our day-to-day life. So you should be familiar with them, and you should know them, like as a percentage, as a decimal, and as a fraction. Okay. Now, suppose if this is 10%, so 10% is same as like 10 over 100, we know that. So 10 over 100 can also be written as 1 over 10. And this is same as zero point 0.1. So 10% as a fraction, it is 1 over 10. As a decimal, it is zero point 0.1. Then you have 5%. 5% as a fraction, you have to write this. Then there is a very typically used 25%. Then you have 50%. Please quickly write them as a fraction and then as a decimal here. Okay. So this is for the fraction part and this is for the decimal part. Okay. So write them as a fraction, as a decimal. And then there is the 75%, there is the 100%, there can be 120%, there can be 200%. So if you know them, you can find many values mentally. So write their values mentally. I haven't told you how to do that, but I believe you can write that. So when you're converting them into these percentages into the fractions or into the decimals, so like when you're writing them as a fraction, try to write them in the simplest form and be very aware of this. When you're writing them as a decimal, write them correct to two decimal places. Okay. So as you have seen here, when you write this 5% as a decimal, so this 5% is going to be, that is going to be 0.05, and this 50% is going to be zero point 0.5. 50% actually means a half. Okay, so this 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%, these are very frequently used percentages, so you must always know them by heart. Okay, how they are written as a decimal and what do they actually mean. So 100% means a whole, one complete. 50% means 50 out of 100, that is representing a half. or as a decimal, it is going to be 0.5. Okay, so you have covered half of this over here, that when there is already a percent sign, so if you want to remove that percent sign, for example, if there is 60%, so you can write this as, either you can write it as 60 over 100, or you can write it as 60 times 1 over 100. Because this percent sign means that this is representing out of 100. So you can write in any of these two ways here. Either you write this as 60 over 100 or 60 times 1 over 100. That means the same. Okay. The next thing is that you must be able to change the given number into a percentage. Like in this first question, we already had this percent sign with all of them, but now we have to change them to the percentages. Okay. So, so I'll be telling you this in the second part of this video, how to change the things into the percentages.